Welcome back to Cam's Classics. Today we're going to be working on the brakes on the Oldsmobile 442. As you've seen, we got this put in. We're cutting it over to front disc brakes. We're leaving the drums in the back. But we are going power with the dual master cylinder. So the old style was manual with the single pot cylinder. These are just so much safer to have the dual cylinders, and then having power for the for the disc brakes is a whole lot better as well. So we got it all plumbed in, other than this guy right here, which is the plumbing for the front brakes. We got them started, but we just need to get them all tightened up. We are using these specific, they're flare nut wrench is what they're called. They are for brakes. You put them over the line, slide them up. Of course that's the wrong size for that one, but you just put them over, slide them up. It grabs on 4 sides instead of 2 like your normal standard wrench. Which these are kind of they're like an aluminum fitting. Tighten that a little bit by hand. They're kind of like an aluminum fitting. So having, hop on that one and get it. So that's the one that runs over to the passenger side. This top one is our feed. Nope, the top one is the driver's side. And we had a little bit of a struggle finding the right fittings for this because it was the single cylinder style. The other one had, this is the rear brake line that's coming through here. I'm sorry about that. So this is the rear brake line. It's just coupled here, comes off the back. This one is the front feed line, and it comes off there, comes into the side. The block that come with this car, because it had 4 lines, and the line that was for one of the bigger ones, either the rear or the feed line, was stripped out. So we had to go with this brass one. And with that, we have to put an adapter on here, so we'll tighten the adapter first. And we'll actually leave that on there so we can tighten with it. Use it to hold our other one. I'm not sure which one of these 2 I'm going to need, but I'm going to need one of them. Make sure we got these tightened back up. I'm pretty sure we did. The other side we didn't have loose, this one we did. So I'm going to hop here for a second.
Did you put fluid in it?
Nope. So we did do a bench bleed on this. So let me explain that process. We did it before we put it on the car. So what you do is usually they'll send it, depending on who manufactures your kit. This one's a CPP. But what it is they'll send you 2 plastic hoses and plastic fittings that feed into here, and you just loop the lines up and in. And then you just pump the brakes to get all the air out of the master cylinder. And we do want to put this back on. We don't need to tighten that, we just want it to kind of hold it in place so we don't shoot fluid everywhere. Brake fluid is very corrosive to paint, so we don't want to get it on any painted surface. So all we're doing is pumping a little bit, get some fluid down into here, make sure we don't have any leaks before we go to bleed them. Okay, I'm starting to get a little bit of pedal pressure. Just do a little fill. Make sure we're not leaking anywhere. So everything's looking good. Not seeing any leaks on anything here. So
We got a little over here. We better probably check.
we do got a leak order, he says. So okay. Let me. Anytime you have a little leak like that, you're going to want to wipe it off because it will just kind of run down this hose, and you're not going to know if it's continuing to leak or if it's a new leak. But we'll pump that a little bit more. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit of pressure there now. I lost my wrench, so we're there. Okay, so bleeding the brakes is a two-man process unless you have specific tools. We do kind of have the tools, but I've never had it really work well. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna head to the back. The way you want to bleed these is you want to start from your furthest. So we're going to do the passenger back corner, then jump over, do the driver's back corner, come up and do the passenger front corner, end up here at the driver's side. So what Dad's going to do, and I'll have him take the camera, we'll use our other camera underneath, is he's going to get in the car or get where he can get, and he will pump the brakes 4 or 5 times, and we'll show you what happens on the other side. Okay, so we're here underneath the car. What we have here, it's just a plastic jug with a hose on it. And these brakes have a little cap. We pulled that off, put the hose on where the cap goes. And basically all we do pull that off just a second. So we can get our right bleeder. And we'll actually have to get a different wrench. There. Okay, pump it.
Hold it.
Okay.
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 Hold it.
Okay. Hand me a rag.
Still getting there.
Nope, that one's good. Okay, so we got this side. I'm gonna have him pump it just to make sure I got that good and tight.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So basically what I'm doing, he pumps it to pump fluid through it. It's pushing air out. I open it up while he holds the pedal to the floor, which keeps the pressure on it. It pulls the air out, and then we just keep doing that process until we get the air out. This one is starting to drag just a little bit, which is exactly what we want. But I'm going to hop over and do the other side. We'll come back to you when we're getting ready to do the front. Okay, so now that we're out here, it's more light, I can show you what we got. This is a Craftsman bleeder kit. They do make a pump that goes on here, but I never can get it to seal enough to make pressure to pull. That's what it's made to do, is you pump it up until you get pressure on there, break this, it sucks the fluid through. I never can get that to work, so we just use it as a catch bottle. It does have an adapter in here because you do have a smaller hole on the bleeder. So we'll set this on the ground. I'll take the camera, and Dad's gonna jump in there and pump the brakes. I'll try and get you some good footage of what we're doing.
Ready?
Yep.
Holding.
Okay. We'll come back in just a second. So we're back. They must have really tightened them down from the factory because it took all we could get to get it brake free. But here we go.
Holding.
Okay.
Holding.
Okay. So let's show you what he's doing.
And when I hold it, he lets, when he opens that up, it lets the pedal go to the floor, but you don't want to let the pedal back up until he closes the nut back off, or you'll suck the air back in it.
Yeah, so let's pop this. And we're getting straight fluid, so that should be that on that one. So I kind of let the fluid run down in there. Capturing a little bit of the fluid there. Let's tighten that. Put our little rubber cap back on it. And go ahead and pump it. Okay, let go. So we now have brakes in that tire. We'll hop over. We'll get the other one broke free, and we'll do that one more time. We'll see you in a second. So we hop back. Let's show you this before we go too much further. You periodically want to pop this open, make sure you're good on fluid. As you can see, we are a little low on this front one. So let me hand the camera off. Let's throw a little more in it. Okay. The back one is good. So what we'll do, we'll bleed this other side. We'll pop this off again. You do want to put this on there and seal it up. If you don't, you'll think you have a leak running down through there. You don't. It's just coming out of the back of this because this needs to be pushed down to seal. So we'll go ahead and get this one broke free and come back to you, and we'll bleed this one. Okay, so we're back. We got our hose hooked up on this one. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Hold it.
Okay. So we're down to basically just fluid. Pop our hose off, drain it down into our bucket. We'll just throw this away. As you can see, that it's kind of yellowed. That's just getting any of the stuff that was in the metal lines from the factory. Any of the, got these hoses. So basically what we'll do is we'll pop that open. We didn't take a whole lot of fluid out. We'll make sure we're good. We'll let it sit overnight. We do have brakes on this other front wheel. We'll let it sit overnight. Check for any leaks. Fix any leaks we have. And then I think we're ready to put on this header. We want to get the brakes because there's just a lot of limited space right here. So we wanted to get the brakes on where we could get to them before we get the header in there. We'll get the header in there. Part of that's going to be installing, you can see the ball in here, for our clutch pedal. We can get that hooked up, get the starter back on. Then we're ready to hang some doors, hang some fenders, put a hood on. And then we can start really getting the body ready for paint. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.